Jake, a 65-year-old who recently retired, has $2 million, but he needs that portfolio to create a retirement paycheck. Which way should he go? We'll discuss one specific income planning strategy that could help Jake take his retirement to the next level. Welcome to Rise in Retirement,
where it's our goal to help you optimize and simplify your retirement plan.
I'm Jet.
And I'm Taco.
We are financial advisors at W.A. Smith Financial Group, a firm trusted by thousands of individuals. We work with people all across the U.S. with a mission to help you focus more on your life, worry less about your money. And we do that each and every week here with awesome case examples that you can put yourself into. And we've got another good one here today.
Yeah, Jet, we have Jake. Hypothetical case example, not Jake from State Farm, but Jake is 65 years old, recently retired. He's got $2 million saved up for retirement. He's ready to spend. He's ready to do all of the bucket list items. The retirement journey is at his fingertips. So what he knows is that he has a shortfall and that he is going to need monthly income to support all of these needs, utilizing this $2 million. Social Security is not enough. That's his only income source coming in. So we're going to explore some specific strategies, specifically one today that could make a ton of sense to create that stream of income for Jake. So I'm excited on this one.
Yeah, Jake's done a phenomenal job. I mean, a single guy saved $2 million for retirement. I mean, he's in great shape.
Yeah.
He's on the perfect track in his planning. He's already identified that he has a monthly shortfall that he has to tackle. His biggest question is, how do I tackle that paycheck? How do I invest the money? How do I withdraw it? Is there a strategy that's maybe more specific for him?
Yeah.
And as we reviewed the case example details, as we'll provide to you here in just a minute, there's a strategy, one of many that we've used with clients. There's a specific income strategy that I think makes perfect sense for Jake. So we want to detail that one for you here today.
Yeah. Before we jump into this, hey, this is a key topic right here is how to produce income. So if you like today's video and the topic here, make sure you share, subscribe to our page, turn your notifications on so that we can come to you every single Sunday. We're also going to talk here in a minute after the video. If you want more resources, head over to riseinretirement.com. A lot of valuable stuff there that we'll talk to you about here. But let's jump in, Jet. And so I'll kind of lay out some of the details here on Jake. So again, 65, retired, $2 million. That $2 million is broken down to $1.3 million is in 401k dollars that just rolled into an IRA. So these are pre-tax dollars. He's got $400,000 in a Roth IRA, so tax-free dollars. He's got $200,000 in a non-qualified taxable brokerage account, and he's got $100,000 emergency, liquid cash fund.
Yep.
His number one goal, he did a great job saving, and now it's, hey, I want monthly income, and I want that to come in on a very systematic. I want to feel like I'm just getting a paycheck every single month, and I want it to come in on a very reliable, predictable, guaranteed basis. Number one goal.
You know what immediately when you describe it that way, the word that comes to mind is pension.
Yeah.
Jake doesn't have a pension. Jake has Social Security income. Like many people that are watching, that's the only systematic stream of income that would be coming in when they retire. And so what you just said is Jake wants to create a pension for a portion, at a minimum, of the income that he knows he's going to need in addition to Social Security.
Right. His main objective is create a plan that allows me to sleep at night, that I don't have to worry about spending confidently. I don't care. I don't want to care about who's president. I don't want to care about any of the economic, anything going on out there and how it will impact my income need and how I'm going to live. So that's his number one goal. His risk tolerance, he describes himself as a fairly conservative investor. Diving deeper on that, again, he wants to just continue to maintain that conservative stance on these dollars that he's worked really hard for and to get to where he's at. And again, just doesn't really want to have to worry about market downturns impacting him changing his lifestyle at all.
Let's talk about his income scenario more specifically. So Jake, single guy, $2 million. He wants to live. He wants to do some things. $12,000 a month income goal. Some of you are thinking, wow, single guy spends $12,000 a month. That's what Jake wants to do. Jake's got hobbies. Jake's got desires. He's been working a long time. He's ready to enjoy.
Yep.
So $12,000 a month is what he wants. Social Security is going to get him $3,200 per month. Leaves him with a shortfall of $8,800 per month.
Yep.
Or about $105,000 and change per year. So he's got a withdrawal need of $105 a year off of his $2 million. Simple math is a 5.28% annual withdrawal rate, which is pretty good.
Yep.
If you break down, and here's where Jake did a really good job. This is what sets this whole strategy design up for him. Jake didn't just look at his budget and go, I need 12 grand a month. He broke it down and separated it into two categories. Of the $12,000 a month that he wants, he figured out how much of that $12,000 is for basic stuff: food, clothing, shelter, taxes, utilities, groceries.
Yeah, still got some mortgage, payments.
I gotta pay for these things. And then there's $3,000 a month that is for more discretionary joy. I call it the fun money. All those things that Jake wants to do with his time.
Yep.
When every day becomes Saturday because he's not retired. So that's the start of all this. Because Jake has that determined, immediately there's a strategy that comes to mind that we call flooring.
Yep.
That I think fits his scenario really, really well.
Yeah. Flooring, we talk purpose-based all the time, and that's the key. That's the starting point. Is we now know that there's income shortfall, which is $8,800 per month for everything, or $5,800 per month to get the bills paid, the necessities, the must-haves.
So let's just to be clear, $8,800 a month is the shortfall. Remember, Jake said of the $12,000 he needs per month, only $3,000 of that is designated for discretionary and joy. So if you take $8,800 and you subtract $3,000, that's how we get to the $5,800.
Yeah. Jake being a more conservative investor, somebody who wants, more reliable, predictable, pension-like income. We're not pro any specific investment. We're not down on any specific investments. They all have a need, right? When I think pension, I think of an annuity.
Yep.
This could be a potential scenario for someone like Jake using a flooring strategy to position some dollars and create a pension using an annuity. So taking some of those IRA dollars and saying, hey, if I plug in, I did the math, Jet, we looked at this. Mm-hmm. Basically, he would need somewhere in the ballpark of $800 to $1 million set aside today in a couple different buckets to be able to produce the floor, meaning $5,800 per month on a very reliable, predictable basis, meaning with that income coming in off the portfolio and Social Security, he's got his $9 grand per month and he doesn't have to worry about it.
Yep.
Let's just say it's $1 million, right? Which means there's still another $1 million left over. The purpose of that money can now be a little more growth oriented, and therefore other items, tax planning, legacy, if that happened to be important to him, long-term care needs. He still needs a little bit of income off of it. You mentioned a withdrawal rate of 5.28%.
Yep.
If you just look at it at the highest level, $8,800 a month on the $2 million. If we do this flooring strategy where we create some purpose and we take $1 million and
to create the floor,
and we don't even care what happens to that money moving forward. We could spend that down for the rest of his life, but he knows that he's getting his $9 grand. That other $1 million now has to produce $3,000 a month. That withdrawal rate now on that money is only 3.5%, 3.6%. So you've took a plan that was in the 5% plus withdrawal rate range to below 4% by creating some purpose.
Now, it doesn't always work that way. You can run into a case example where someone has their budget figured out and they know what their shortfall is. And depending on how the numbers play out, it might not drastically affect the withdrawal rate, but this is a case where it does.
Yeah.
And so not only does Jake create systematic, reliable income for the basics, but with that additional money he still has to pull out, he's lowered his withdrawal rate, which makes it a lot easier when markets are swinging. Because you got to figure on the remaining money, he's got $1 million set aside in conservative things, could be CDs, treasuries, fixed annuities, some combination of those things where now he's got a reliable stream of income. So he's happy in that market. That's going to open up his capacity for risk on the remaining dollars. So he could choose, and probably should be, based on that withdrawal rate, because the withdrawal rate dropped to below 4%. Now Jake can afford to have a little bit more of an aggressive plan with the extra $1 million that's left over that you could invest in stocks and market-based investments.
Yeah. And it's safe to say at that point that $1 million. So even if, again, not necessarily saying he's going to spend that $1 million for income down, but even if he does, he still has that other $1 million that should be not only providing the additional discretionary income, but also growing over time.
Yeah.
And so he's in a great spot from that standpoint.
Before we grade Jake on a red, yellow, green light assessment, first step that you should do right now, or as soon as this video is over, riseandretirement.com. Go to riseandretirement.com, click on the link in the description below to find that. And you can do a couple of different things. If you're ready to discuss your specific scenario, super easy way to get that conversation started. We can offer you a free, no cost, no obligation, 30-minute phone appointment with an advisor here at W.A. Smith Financial. You can schedule that right on our site. And if you're not quite ready for that, but you want to learn a little bit more about some of the concepts that we talk about here on this show, there's a bunch of free guides that you can choose to download from the website as well. So Rise and Retirement's a good option.
Yeah, and don't forget, on that riseandretirement.com, you can also sign up as a weekly Ascend 360 Insider, packed with, a weekly video from our CEO. It's completely free to do that. So again, if you're not ready to take that step of jumping into your personal situation, this is a great start.
If you like our content, and if you are finding yourself tuning into this regularly when it posts, then it's kind of a no-brainer to also sign up for Ascend 360 Insider. I wouldn't miss that. So, withdrawal rate and need is in a good zone. He has his needs identified. He's willing to be more conservative when it comes to generating his income. The only downside I see to his scenario leading into this is that he just doesn't have a clear-cut plan designed on how he's going to get that shortfall.
Right.
Which we've just presented an idea for Jake that allows him to maintain that level of conservative nature with the way he invests and create systematic, reliable income. Worst case scenario for Jake here on the $1 million that's designed for the shortfall, that's basics. Let's say he invests superbly aggressively with the $1 million that's left over and things just don't go his way. At an absolute worst case, if you do the flooring strategy right, maybe he's still alive and he runs that $1 million down to nothing that was set aside for growth and for the joy expenses. He still has $9,000 a month coming in. He might not be able to spend 12 in that scenario, but what Jake has done is he's put himself into a position where at a worst case, if he does this the right way, he will at least have the 9 coming in. And he knows he'll be able to spend his basics and live his life. He just won't be able to do some of the fun stuff. The reality of that happening is still supremely low, though.
Yeah. He's a green light all the way.
Yeah.
Based on where he's at, his main thing is about getting a plan in place that hits those goals and objectives. But what he's asking for is in the green light situation. He's definitely a perfect candidate to build out a flooring type of strategy to fit his risk tolerance needs, still get a little bit of growth on the assets and be able to live by our mission, which is to, not worry about life, not worry about money, but, go enjoy life, go spend your money, go do your thing. So he's in great shape.
As a teaser, we mentioned flooring as the strategy today. There's 3 other specific ones that come to mind. There's cash flow, there's goal-based, and there's time segmentation. So 3 alternative approaches to cases like this. So if you liked hearing this specific strategy, drop us a comment below and tell us that you want to hear about the other ones. We can do some future videos on those as well. Final takeaway for me is Jake's in a great spot. He needs to be a little bit more specific with how he develops his income.
Yep.
And flooring can do that for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got opportunity to do some additional, comprehensive planning as well. Again, he's in a spot where taxes, we want to get a great income plan in place, but we want to be tax efficient. So that'd be another area that I think Jake could really address, kind of built into his income plan as well. Long-term care. So he's got, the assets to be able to really put together a sound financial plan.
Final action for you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel. Turn that bell notification on so that you're alerted every time we post a new Rise in Retirement episode on Sundays. And head over to riseinretirement.com. Check out all the resources there. We would love to talk to you on a 30-minute free phone call about your specific situation. We're out of time today. We'll see you right back here next Sunday on Rise in Retirement.